Check out my new short story that I wrote just now named A.T.I.C, and please let me know what you think right now, okay? Thanks. I know it's long, but I heard it's a great read. Thanks. Comment down below your thoughts please and thank you. Written, Saturday, September 26, 2029:47.A.M. Book title: Attic. Attic is about a guy named Atticus Bay who lives in a mansion with his niece and his late wife who was long lost to death years ago and who loves to play hide-and-go-seek in that house as a family tradition. Atticus's house was long and spacious and luscious and homely enough that one day on his way to get the Daily Mail at the signpost he met a new neighbor named Siyrah a kind, loving and sweet 7-year-old who was wise but very intelligent and very old for her age and considered an old soul who was well beyond her years. The old raggedy pickup truck spewed out smoke from the back of its helm like it was about to break down but still had a few years on it to go, and sputtered in the wind as it drove into the driveway next to him, and as he waved a new family approached his gated community and bellowed their hellos. As Atticus tipped his hat as his fellow new neighbors, unbeknownst to them a family before died in that house and several others down the street, which made it a quiet whisper at times at midnight. But Atticus loved the quiet, which was very odd due to the fact that his niece and wife used to live with him and make a lot of noise, and oh did he love fun. But Atticus heard things and saw things that plagued his mind when people in the neighborhood died. He was an old working-class man who used to work at the Daily Mail front-page news company but long since retired from that line of work, and he used to be a soldier in World War Z but lost the battle due to cancer, which got cured by one of his many invention ideas. Well, back at his house he had a tea kettle on, so he had to get back home after he picked up his mail. But while he observed this odd-next eccentric family that pulled up in the driveway next to his Siyrah and Siyrah, her twin, were skinny talk lanky fellows, but their parents were big pigglish oversized piglets as Siyrah called them. But her sister wasn't all too keen to the shabby fun life, if you know what I mean, and wasn't at all easy on the eyes, but still took kindly to her sister and looked after her a lot because she was adventurous but always got herself into trouble and always liked talking to strangers and getting to know new people. But this was the start of a new friendship between her and Atticus, and as the parents unpacked and Atticus helped them in their new house, something unearthly stirred within him and pushed him back clear against the wall as if leaving him weightless. But he never moved at all, and it was odd because he saw it in his mind as if it was all there, and saw a grimsly odd figure in the distance of the corner of his room. But as the nice neighbor he was, Atticus invited the new neighbors over for dinner after they brought him a cheesecake for his birthday, when he brought them a sweet caramel peach cobbler carrot cake as a welcoming gift, which was Siyrah's favorite. But she didn't know that Atticus was great with people and used to be an old private detective, and in his line of duty he learned an odd keen gift of reading people and seeing the best in them and learning from the most downcast and downtrodden of people. So as the story begins, one day Atticus's wife trips and falls and breaks her neck in their home attic, but before that she murdered his niece, but their ghost never left the house, and it became an unsolved mystery for Atticus on why his wife would murder his innocent niece and then kill herself. It all didn't make sense, and after that a string of murders happened in the history of that attic before Atticus lived there, and who lives there just keeps on dying, but only one survived, and that was Atticus, because he had not only spunk but he was driven to find the truth and wasn't gonna left some grimly murders, decided what his fate was gonna be. But the attic appeared as if by magic with one book, a pen and one wheelchair, but the original owner of the house was never found, and Atticus found a listing at work and it read, warning, this place of residence is claimed and will remain as an unsolved murder mystery and haunted. Please be advised that if you move her there you know the details of who lived here before. In the 19th of September 1437, where a grisly figure was spotted running away from the crime scene of May Thomas and J. Bay, sisters of Siyrah's parents, as she told Atticus the story of how she felt her aunt's murder wasn't just no accident, that it happened in that attic, said so by the book of law which Atticus lived by. One day Atticus invites Siyrah over to his house and she says, "Wow, Mr.Atticus, you have a nice house," and he says, "Call me Atticus," and she starts to explore, but she also loved a game of hide and seek, so as she ran around the house she said, "Come find me, Atticus, come find me," and when she ran up the dark-looking stairwell which had black steps, onyx steps but gold rails, she stumbled upon a hallway and also tripped and fell and hit a door which led up to what looked like to be an attic, so Siyrah thought she'd hide in there, but she screamed because she saw a woman and a little girl played and they told her that they got murdered by someone else and that it was okay for Atticus to go on to the next life without them because they'll be waiting for him there. But his late wife said she didn't murder his niece and she knows that Atticus may not ever be forgiven for causing the death of someone so special to him and his sister, but she has long since forgiven him because she reassured her that it wasn't him but that they don't even know who his was. And then Siyrah heard footsteps coming up the stairway and heard her name being called and Atticus saying, "Siyrah? Siyrah? Where are you hiding? Come out right this instant. I'm gonna find you." But this time it was like no other but in a stern warning, so Siyrah hid within a door in the attic and waited to be found by Atticus, and he almost stumbled and fell on some obstructive plywood but caught his balance and saw the attic door cracked open and gasped with his hands clasped over his mouth and walked up the stairs and found Siyrah hiding in the closet, and he took her and wanted her to never go in there and said that she can go and hide anywhere else in the house but the attic, and so he led her home and ended in a short. But Atticus heard voices and saw things like hallucinations and sometimes was depressed and suicidal, but it never stopped him from living his life, and his late wife didn't kill herself or his niece, someone else did, but she doesn't know who, and her spirit won't rest till she found out because it was her sister, but she had to protect Atticus by killing herself in the attic. By Ovaldo Brown.